we start off the show with me in the ring, mic in my hand, and I say, welcome everyone to Monday Night Raw. Tonight is a very special night. It's the final Raw before WrestleMania. And to celebrate, I figured we'd start the show with a bang. So I'd like to announce next week we will be having a women's tournament. This tournament will be to crown the first ever Women's United States Champion. Once we finalize the roster, we will announce the matches. I unveil the championship and continue. This tournament will be a long one. It will end at Money in the Bank, where the final two contestants will face off to become the first ever Women's United States Champion in a historic night. Alright,
You want the U.S. title?
yes, I thought we established this. It's too late, it's in the canon now.
Okay.
Okay, uh, after that, we cut to the Undisputed Era locker room where Finn says, "What the hell was that last week, JD? We would have had him if you didn't take so long to get off Dom. You do realize I'm supposed to win the match, right?" Finn, relax. That wasn't the Mania match. I was just trying to get us to win, which didn't happen, so we move on. And now we got our sights set on Mania. Okay? We good? Finn gets up in JD's face and says, "You better not try any funny business in that match." Adam Cole chimes in with, "Sensing a lot of tension here. If only someone had told you to not to get involved with this whole situation." "Oh, wait, I did! And you didn't listen. So here's the plan. We've been a group for too long, and we still only have one piece of gold. If we come out of Mania with less than that, we're going to have some issues here. So get your shit together." It's not really a plan, but probably should have said, here's the deal, whatever. Commentary tells us that why these men decided to have this match. They say whoever wins gets to choose the stipulation for the Mania title match. Uh, Law Bloodline. Once again, Rock pins Roman. Dodo, dodo. Okay, we get a promo package recapping the whole women's tag team feud, which ends with telling people to tune into SmackDown to find out who the fourth team added into the match will be. Uh, we then see Randy and Rick backstage, where Randy says, I told you last week not to screw me over again, Rick. And what happened? I got distracted because I had to save your ass. You ever taken a power bomb onto the steel steps? It's not fun. We all know my back isn't 100%. You're starting to outlive your usefulness to me, Rick. So here's your final warning. If you mess up at Mania, I'm gonna kill another legend. Alright? We get a Damian Priest and Dom promo package saying that they are ready to bring gold back to the Judgment Day, and at Mania they'll finally avenge Bad Bunny after they destroy Finn. Jade versus Roxanne. It's a tough match for both of these women, but it all comes down to a distraction. Jade is about to hit Jaded when Bianca's music hits and she comes out. This distracts Jade. Uh, Jade's just watching her at the entrance. She finally turns around, gets kicked in the gut, and hit with a pop rocks. Roxanne Perez wins. She rushes out after her victory. Afterwards, Bianca comes down and starts laying the beat down on Jade. She hits her with a KOD 2 times. After she's done, she starts yelling, I'ma still be undefeated at Mania when it's all said and done, bitch. All right. Ooh, this one. We cut to backstage. We see Gunther getting ready for his promo tonight when a winded Jay, Roman, and Mox walk up to him. Jay says, "Look, Goose, I'm be honest. Part of me really wants you to pin Randy at Mania, but another part of me wants to retire him myself. But what can't happen under any circumstances is that man winning another world title. Whoever you choose to pin, good luck." They walk away as Gunther smiles. Gunther starts walking away when we see Mercedes and Naomi walk up to Tamina. Tamina, look, we want to let you know the offer is still on the table. We've seen how Nia treats you. Come with us. You won't get treated like trash with us. We're all equal here. Look, me and Nia are in a bit of a rough patch, I'll admit, but we're still family. I appreciate the offer. Good luck at Mania, guys. Tamina walks away. Backstage, Roxanne starts cutting a promo where she says, "You see that, Rhea? I just beat Jade Cargill. Yeah, if I could beat her, what makes you think I'd be too scared to face you?" From behind, Rhea jumps her. She throws her into equipment boxes, grabs a chair, hits her in the back multiple times. She's not done. She quickly picks up Rox, hits her with a riptide through one of the tables backstage. Rox is trying to get uh Rock's trying to get up. Rhea grabs the chair again and starts laying into her. She picks up Rocks again and hits her with another riptide straight onto the concrete. Rhea says, "You thought you could attack me the other week and I just let you get away with it? I was waiting for my moment to get revenge." Uh, Rox starts coughing and we see she starts coughing up blood. She's struggling to catch her breath. She's holding her ribs and back. She's finally able to get to her knees and say, "I don't care how strong you are. I don't care how hurt I am. I've seen the future. You don't leave Mania as champion." Rhea smiles and says, "That's the spirit." Rhea just hits one more giant punch on Rox, knocking her out. Rhea walks away. KO versus Kofi now. Uh, KO spends this match yelling at the camera that he doesn't need Stone Cold. He could do this on his own, and he does. He gets the job done. Ah, shit, I pressed X. Hold on.
Let's go.
He gets. He, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my god, I have entrances off. I gotta do this all.
As one third of the
Fuck it. Quit match. There you go. Okay, where was I? He gets the job done. After his victory, he starts mocking Stone Cold celebrations. You know, he gets 2 cans of soda because he doesn't drink apparently. Slams them together and chugs them. Stone Cold comes out after that, and they just have a stare down. Backstage, we see Rock, Jimmy, Solo. Rock says, "I mean, we all know what the stipulation we're choosing already is, but we might as well announce it to the audience. This match is gonna be Bloodline rules. And by the end of it, Rock, Jimmy, and that weirdo that smells like cigarettes. Rock Jimmy. Roman Jimmy and that weird. No." Called themselves out. Roman J and that weirdo that smells like cigarettes. There you go. You will all kneel to me and you will acknowledge your tribal chief. Fuck. Alright. I am then seen walking out of the trainer's room. The Undisputed Era are out there waiting to hear the news on Rocks. Okay, guys, it's not good. We haven't got a full rundown, but obviously we don't have X-ray machines here or MRIs. But our doctor thinks she's got two cracked ribs, potentially sprained back. I'll be honest, guys. We might have to call the match off. What? Adam Cole says. We see Mello sneak past me and go to the trainer's room. No, you can't do that to her. She worked her ass off for this. I'm sorry, Cole, but this is for her own good. She'll get a title shot at Backlash. We hear from inside the training room Rox yell, "What?" She then comes bursting through the door. We see her heavily taped up. She's still struggling to even breathe right now. No, you can't do this. You can't take away my title shot. Please, Rox. Listen, I appreciate you wanting to keep the fight on, but it's for your own good. No, Eric, I have to make her pay. She's a hypocrite. telling me telling me off for finding any way to win. If she's if she goes and injures me before the biggest match of my career, please, you have to let me prove myself. She's giving me big puppy dog eyes. I'm trying not to look at them so she doesn't manipulate me, but I can't help it. Fine, fine. You get your match. But I'm letting the ref know beforehand. If at any point in the match you look like you can't continue, they're calling it off. Thank you. I won't let you down. Alright, blow off time. Raquel versus Chelsea. Chelsea has a hard fought battle, and she's finally able to beat Raquel in the end and end this feud. Afterwards, she grabs a mic and says, "Man, I really hope I stay on Raw because I need to compete to become the first ever Women's United States Champion." Alright, main event segment time. Randy, Gunther, and Cena are in the ring. Gunther's all smiles after last week. Randy says, "Well, I'll admit, Gunther, I wasn't expecting last week to go down the way it did, but we all know I would have won that if Rick wasn't such a bumbling idiot. But nevertheless, you made quite the statement last week." Yes, I did. You see, when I stack you two at WrestleMania, I'll go down as the greatest world champion of all time. And I would have only had the title for about a month at that point. Do you see how much my legacy is going to be helped by you two? I truly can't thank you enough. Not so fast, Cena interrupts. Last week you got lucky. It won't happen again. I have the drive to take Randy down, and I know I could beat you. I had you down for a 20 count, Gunther. You don't scare me. You're just a knockoff version of Arnold. But when I beat you, you won't be back. You'll be too embarrassed after basically promising to end my career that when you fail, you'll never recover. You won't want to show your face in public. And hell, you won't even want to show your face in private. When you wake up on Monday, you're going to look in the mirror and see a failure. Gunther smiles and just chops Cena. Randy goes for an RKO on Gunther. Gunther pushes him away and chops him. Gunther holds his title high. Cena comes up from behind him, turns him around, hits him with an AA. He then grabs the title and holds it high. Randy gets up. He hits Cena with an RKO. And now Randy holds the title high. Gunther goes back up, goes for a chop. Randy ducks, and he hits Gunther with an RKO. Randy is standing tall over both of these men. What's gonna happen at Mania? I don't know. I gotta figure that out soon.
What's going to happen at WrestleMania? It's like, we haven't booked that far yet.
Will he stack him? That's a
um,
promising thing, but I don't know.
who won the main event?
Chelsea.
Okay.
God damn it.
The final. Sami Zayn, Bronson Reed, and Seth Rollins open the show in the ring. Seth says, last week, me and Sami had a little conversation. We spoke about how Heyman has been treating his talent outside of Brock Lesnar and CM Punk, how he has deliberately screwed over not only myself, but Sami as well. So, Paul, if you would so kindly come out here tonight, we have a proposition for you. Paul Heyman comes out with Brock Lesnar and stands on top of the ramp. Sami says, Paul, for too long you have shown favoritism, and so we have a contract for you to sign. Seth pulls a contract out of his coat pocket and holds it in the air, and Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar make their way down to the ring. Paul enters the ring and takes the contract from Seth and begins to read it. Seth says, Paul, I'm going to save you some time and just let you know what the contract says. It says that if both Punk and Brock lose their matches at WrestleMania, then you will forfeit your role as SmackDown General Manager. Now, obviously, Brock has potentially two matches at WrestleMania, so we have accounted for that as well. If Brock loses either of those matches, the contract is still enforced. So if he beats Drew and loses to Sami, you'll still have to forfeit your position. Paul gets on the mic and says, so let me get this straight. The man who has been granted the position to be a face of this company for the first time in his career wants me gone. Sami shakes his head yes. Paul then says, and the man who I am giving the chance to rid himself of the man who he despises also wants me gone. Seth says, you're damn right. Sami then chimes in and says to Paul, you may think that it's just us and Drew who don't want you here anymore, but Sami pulls a few pieces of paper out of his coat pocket. This is a list of names who have signed off on wanting this contract. It is almost every single superstar in the back. See, Paul, when you decided to give Brock Lesnar the 30th spot in the Royal Rumble, you lost a lot of people in the locker room. Their boss showed them that night that he will play favorites. So sign the damn contract so after WrestleMania, SmackDown can become a better brand for everyone involved. Paul laughs and says, I honestly should have seen this coming. Whenever I bring out the best in people, they always turn their back on me. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm a businessman, and I need a main event tonight. So let's make something special on the final show before WrestleMania. Sami and Seth, since you two have colluded against me, you will be teaming up in the main event where the two of you will get the distinct privilege of facing Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. And if, by any pure miracle, you two can pull out the win, then I will sign your stupid contract. Segment ends. We go to commercial, come back for Kabuki Warriors versus Dakota and Io. Damage Control facing each other. It is a hard hitting affair, but in the end, after weeks and weeks of just constant matches and hardship, the Kabuki Warriors cannot get it done as Dakota and Io beat the Kabuki Warriors, taking the title shot at WrestleMania for themselves. After the match, the Kabuki Warriors sit down in the mat holding their heads when Dakota and Io walk over to pick them up. The Kabuki Warriors at first are hesitant to accept help from them, but eventually take their hands and they hug in the middle of the ring. The Kabuki Warriors head out as Dakota and Io continue to celebrate. As they are celebrating, they get jumped by Nia and Tamina. Soon after, Tiffany and Bliss and Mercedes and Naomi both come out and all four teams begin to brawl. Security rushes the ring and attempts to separate all 8 of these women, but there seemingly is not enough security as someone is always breaking free. Eventually, they all break apart as Mercedes and Naomi brawl with Nia and Tamina through the crowd, whilst Tiffany and Bliss brawl with Dakota and Io up the ramp to the back. Cameras go back to commentary once both sets of teams disappear from view. The commentators hype up the match for WrestleMania. As they're hyping up Mania, cameras catch back up with the 8 women now brawling outside the arena. During the brawl, we see Tamina brawling with Naomi, and behind her is Nia brawling with Mercedes. Nia goes to throw a forearm at Mercedes, who ducks, and Nia accidentally nails Tamina with it. Tamina drops Naomi, and she has a stare down with Nia. Nia is apologetic, but before anything can happen, Dakota, Io, Tiffany, and Alexa all jump the two of them. The brawl continues, and the four pairs manage to brawl their way onto a bus. The doors close behind them once they all get on, and the cameras pan over to an LED board that says "Next stop, WrestleMania," and the bus drives off.
That's fucking crazy.
I had that like as I was falling asleep. I was like, "Oh, that's good."
Uh,
Bailey and Becky are now seen backstage speaking before Becky's match. Bailey tells Becky that she is rooting for her tonight, but has conflicted feelings about it. You may be trying to do right by what you need, but in the process you are making it harder for me to capture the women's title. Becky says, listen, I understand this puts you in a difficult position for WrestleMania, but I'm going out there and I'm going to beat Paige. Come WrestleMania, I will also regain my women's championship. It's nothing personal, Bailey. It's just what I have to do. Bailey sighs and then puts out her hand. They shake hands and Bailey says, don't expect me to go easy on you. Becky says she wouldn't have it any other way. Go down to the ring for Paige versus Becky. Towards the end of the match, we see Becky getting in position to hit the manhandle slam. Before Becky can hit the move, Charlotte's music plays. The referee and Becky both look up at the ramp when Charlotte sneaks in from behind and nails Becky with a chair in the back. Charlotte slides out the ring and Paige goes in for the cover. 1, 2. Becky barely gets her shoulder up before the 3. Charlotte is losing her mind on the outside. She paces around before sneaking the chair into the ring, then distracting the referee. Paige picks up the chair, but Bailey runs down the ramp. The referee has his back turned towards the ramp and doesn't see this as he is dealing with Charlotte. Charlotte is trying to tell the referee that Bailey's in the ring, but he's not paying attention to it. Bailey enters the ring and knocks the chair out of Paige's hands and then hits her with a Bailey to belly onto the chair. She then slides out of the ring, grabbing the chair in the process, and Becky crawls over and covers Paige. 1, 2, 3. Becky makes it a triple threat at Mania.
Charlotte's still fucking over talent.
Cora Jade and CM Punk are watching the monitor in the back, and Cora just chuckles. She says that Bailey has to be one of the stupidest women in the locker room. Why would she help Becky? Like, I understand they may be friends, but valuing a friendship so much that she is causing more trouble for at WrestleMania is just dumb. Punk says, well, Bailey could use this to her advantage. In a triple threat, you have a chance to breathe at times when others are focused on one another. So maybe Bailey did this with the intention to give herself some rest during the match. Cora says, yeah, but you can't win the match if you're not involved with the match. Enough about Bailey, though. What's your plans for tonight with teaming up with Brock? Punk says, well, he wasn't necessarily wanting to be in this situation. He wanted to solely focus on Rollins at Mania, but he'll just have to go out there and get the job done. Paul is the reason I am here. He helped me so much during my early years in WWE. So if I have to go out there tonight and beat the World Heavyweight Champion and a piece of crap in Seth Rollins, then so be it. It doesn't matter who's at my side though. If Paul calls on me to aid him, then that's what I'm going to do. Cameras then cut over to a different part of the backstage of Ilya, Bobby, Braun, and Andrade all arguing when Paul Heyman enters the frame. Heyman says, enough of this. Each and every week, it's one of you screwing the other over. Ilya, I'm going to make a proposition, and I don't know how you're going to take it, but you have to accept it. At WrestleMania, it'll be Ilya Dragunov defending his U.S. title against Bobby Lashley, Andrade, and Braun Breaker. Ilya says, so your solution is just to throw us all in the ring together and let chaos ensue? Heyman says, basically, yeah. Ilya says he likes this plan, and then strikes Bobby Lashley. Braun then punches Andrade, and all four men begin to brawl as security attempt to pull them apart. Paul Heyman then walks away, slightly shaking his head, quietly saying, why did I bring that madman onto my roster? Then we cut over to a different part of the backstage. Cody and Ricochet are interviewed ahead of Cody's match against Karrion Kross. Before Cody can get a word out, Cross comes into frame. Cross says, Cody, tonight is the big night. You get to show the whole world, and more importantly your tag partner, that nothing matters more to Cody Rhodes than getting himself into the spotlight. But hey, I'm all for it. It's been a minute since I've gotten the chance to unleash some hell into somebody's life, so thank you for this opportunity, and can't wait to see you out there, champ. Cody is just dumbfounded as Cross heads down to the ring. Um, Cody and Karrion. Throughout the match, something just seems off with Cody, and Cross, for the most part, holds the advantage. Towards the end, we see Cross lock in his sleeper hold, and as Cody starts to fade, Ricochet comes down to the ring and hops on the apron. Cross lets go of the hold, and Cross asks, Why are you trying to help him? Can't you see this is a toxic relationship? He is using you, man. You're better off without him. Cody then rushes in to attack Cross, but Cross gets out of the way and Cody nails Ricochet off the apron. Cross then once again locks in the Cross jacket, and Cody passes out. So Karrion Cross wins. After the match, Ricochet is just holding his head, looking into the ring at a passed out Cody. Cross passes Ricochet and says, You know I'm right, and walks up the ramp. Ricochet then gets into the ring and looks down at Cody for a few moments before picking him up and helping him to the back. Paul Heyman is then seen in his office speaking with Brock Lesnar and CM Punk. Heyman said, he's speaking with Brock Lesnar and Punk enters the room. Heyman says, Great, you're here. Okay, so obviously up next is you two versus Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn. Now, I understand that the two of you do not necessarily get along, but I need you on the same page tonight. Listen, I have full faith in the two of you. The two of you are going to win at WrestleMania, but I don't even want a reality where I could lose my job. So I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. I was thinking about the match throughout the show, and I came up with an idea. The main event is going to be an Extreme Rules match. Anything goes. So see it as your opportunity to maybe weaken your opponents for WrestleMania, alongside ensuring that I am in control of SmackDown following WrestleMania. Do you guys think you can handle that? Brock and Punk look at each other, and Punk says, We'll get it done, Paul. They leave the office and head towards the ring. So, main event Sami and Seth versus Punk and Lesnar. During the intro of the match, when Mike Rome announces it is Extreme Rules, both Sami and Seth seem visibly upset by this. Punk and Seth start the match and immediately go into just trading punches in the middle of the ring. Seth pushes Punk into the corner of Brock Lesnar, where Brock just tags himself in. Rollins doesn't realize this, but Brock doesn't even get into the ring right away. He hops off the apron and grabs a chair. Rollins and Punk still brawling in the middle of the ring when Brock slides in and nails Seth with a chair shot to the back. Brock then begins to wail away at Seth before Sami enters the ring and takes the chair out of Brock's hands as he is mid-swing. Sami is in the face of Brock before Brock just grabs Sami and suplexes him across the ring. Brock then picks Sami up and suplexes him picks Sami up again and suplexes him again. He does this one more time before Seth gets back up and grabs the chair and nails Brock with it. Sami and Seth then work together to beat down on Brock before Punk gets back in and tags, and all four men begin brawling. It takes a few minutes of this before action starts to reorganize itself. After this moment, we see Punk primarily in the ring and Seth against Sami and Seth as they both keep Punk away from tagging Brock. They work over Punk for a while before Seth nails Punk with a curb stomp. Seth goes for the cover, but Punk manages to kick out at two. Seth pulls Punk over to their corner and tags in Sami. Sami picks Punk up and uh, Sami picks Punk up and positions him in the corner of Seth Rollins. Sami backs up about halfway across the ring and goes for a haluva kick. Punk manages to duck out of the way, and Sami mistakenly takes out Seth. Sami, in disbelief looking to the outside, allows Punk to make his way across the ring and tag in Brock. Punk rolls out onto the floor as Brock comes in like a ball of fire. He suplexes Sami multiple times over before eventually just picking him up and nailing him with an F5. Brock, not finished yet, picks Sami up again and nails him with another F5. Brock taunts the crowd for a moment before turning around into a Claymore from Drew McIntyre. Drew stands over Brock's body before grabbing Sami and dragging him across Brock. One, two, three. Sami and Seth win. The show closes out with Drew standing over both Sami and Brock as Seth and Punk are on the outside watching what just happened.